Alright, so over on the JP version of the game, we got this new GSSR summon, quote unquote, over here. It's not like the other one over here where, you do the 15 paid Saint Quartz and you're able to do a multi and you're guaranteed at least one of the 5-star servants on whatever banner you're summoning on. As a little side note, I would like to say this is just something I found very funny. Draco, you'll notice, is not on any of the GSSRs, but someone like Durga or Saber Medusa, who just came out, are on this. Whereas, Draco came out in like April and they just did not put her on any banner. And I'm like, dog, but you slapped her right on the face of this banner. Look, I'm not saying they're being a little bit greedy or anything. I already got my Draco, but I'm like, dog, really? There's no Draco at all whatsoever. So I just thought that was really funny. But, if you were like, man, I really want to do this second GSSR, I was like, as someone who has done it over on JP, I kind of wanted to go through it and kind of describe what this is like and like what it all entails. So if you guys enjoy daily FGO content, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And if you want to see me play FGO live, I do that every weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you hit up that Twitch link that is in the description down below. But with that being said, let's talk about this. So the main new thing that kind of comes with this Destiny thing, for one, is that it costs double. You are going to have to get 30 paid Saint Quartz. So if you want to do the Destiny Order Summon over here and you want to do the GSSR, it's going to ring you up about $45. So it's definitely a bit more of an investment, but it's kind of like a better GSSR. So look at some of these banners over here. Let's say you really want Morgan, right? But you don't really want Melusine, you don't really want Crane, and you don't really want Karen. That's a 1 in 4 chance of you either getting what you want and a 3 in 4 chance of getting absolutely shafted, right? Whenever you do the GSSR and you get someone you don't want, for instance, I did this one to try to get Koyan Sky and I got Summer Kama. I like Kama, but it just didn't feel good because, I lost that 1 in 3 chance and I got shafted. This one almost has like built-in anti-shaft, because what you do is you build your own GSSR. It's like a 1 in 9 chance, but you pick all of the different servants, right? And you can pick any of the limited servants that you want, with the exception being that I believe it's like rulers, avengers, alter egos are kind of shoved into one tag, and then the other is like, your pretenders, beast, all the rest of them are the foreigners, all of those people, they're kind of shoved into the 9th slot, right? So they kind of combine those, so you can't just guarantee, like, well, I guess you wouldn't guarantee get someone like Draco, but you know what I mean. Like, they don't want you getting, I guess, too much or whatever, right? I do like it because it does keep the chances smaller, because if you get to do one for every single class, there's going to be like a 1 in 15 chance. There's like 15, 14 classes in the game, so your odds of getting who you want are a lot worse. So I do like that they went ahead and did that. But you pick out everybody that you want from all like the different limited service in the game, and then you just do a normal multi-summon, right? And it's super sick. Now, your boy also got shafted on this one. I wish I did record it because, I was like, okay, what can I build that's like a really strong, Destiny Order summon? And so I was like, let me go Nero Bride for Saber. I'm going to try to get Squirtoria for Archer. Lancer, I'm not going to lie, kind of simping a little bit. Went with Britomart because, let's be real here, Britomart is really hot, all right? Nobody can stop me. I'm trying to get my quick Lancer lady, all right? For Rider, I was like, Reigns is very solid. Caster, who did I go for Caster? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, I went for Izuma because Izuma is really good. You're going to see me do like a servant review for her later this year. But I was like, yeah, Izuma is really good. I'll do her. Assassin, I wanted Koyanskaya. Put Oberon in, obviously, the second extra class slot. And then I put Ruler Scotty in the other one. And I was like, let's go. I ended up getting my Berserker, who is Ibuki, who I already had. Now, granted, you can't really get mad at yourself when you do get something like that because you chose it. And I was like, well, if I don't end up getting Koyan Sky to do Buster farming, I should at least kind of put some insurance in there that my arts farming will be a little bit better with an NP2 Ibuki. But look, it just didn't feel very good. But this is very sick. I love the idea of kind of giving us more ways to kind of get these limited servants. Because, I know everybody can't do them, right? It's more of like a dolphin whale type thing. It benefits a lot more of those people because not everybody's going to be able to fork over $45 to do both the GSSR and this. I think if you have a choice, doing the GSSR is probably still going to be a bit better value for people that can't spend a whole lot of money on the game because, frankly, it's just a lot cheaper. And, you get a little bit more value, technically, right? Because you get a multi for 15 Saint Quartz as opposed to, like, a normal multi for 30 Saint Quartz, but you pick the 5 stars. But like we've kind of been discussing, The JP version has been throwing a lot of banners at us, and I was like, okay, it does look really greedy for them to do stuff like that, but it's better than them not bringing some of these limited servants back around after like 2.5 years. If you guys remember when Arjuna Alter first came out for Lost Belt 4, the second part of that, we didn't see him again for like 2 to 2.5 years when he came back for the Glasses event. It was a ridiculous amount of time that guy was pretty much locked behind the GSSR. So doing stuff like this, especially if you're like, say, an older player and you're like, oh, I didn't have a chance to take a crack at Summer 1 over here, you have a chance to pick up some of those servants that, just don't come back as often as they really should. Especially guys like, say, Oberon over here, right? Oberon, they clearly know the value of this unit. They clearly know how strong he is, and so they are keeping that guy locked up. It was a huge deal when he returned, I would say fairly recently on JP. It wasn't, by this point, it's now going on like 9-10 months, but, more relative in terms of like FGO's lifespan, I suppose. Like, instead of it being like a 2-year jump, like, say, Arjuna Alter. But that stuff is like a really big deal, and this technically starts to give you more avenues to get them, right? You still have to beat the 1 in 9 chance, but it's better than, I guess, not having any chance at all, right? Especially if you can't afford to do it. So I do like this. Again, it is another way of them just kind of monetizing things. And 8th anniversary kind of did just feel like, hey guys, spend money, GG, thank you guys very much, because there was no like animation updates, there was no costumes. Like, remember a couple of anniversaries ago when they dropped like 7 costumes for servants just for no reason? They were just like, yeah, just take some costumes, right? Like, that stuff is always really cool. Didn't really do anything like that for this anniversary. It was kind of like, spend your money on the GSSR, Castoria 2, basically, and this new Destiny Order summon, right? I don't even think we really got any new, like, missions, quote-unquote. Like, we have anniversary missions to get Sane Cores, but we don't have, like, oh, for all of your leveled up servants, you're getting this, right? So, I don't know. We were all speculating on different things like bond or skills and stuff. Turns out the answer was absolutely nothing. But I'm going to be very excited to see if they bring this back around for, say, stuff like New Year's, because it'll give, me personally a chance to take a crack at some of these units I just don't have on JP. Although this does mean that both versions of the game are going to get a lot more expensive. If you play both versions and you intend on doing these both times, that's like $90 for just both anniversaries, right? When you say it like that, that's a lot of money, man. You're starting to get to the point where you can start paying some bills with that. So, look, like always, these gacha games exist only to get your money, so spend responsibly, right? Like, don't put yourself in the hole just to go ahead and take a crack at some of these limited servants, If you can't spend the money on these, it's perfectly fine. Just wait for them to come back around, and you'll be able to snag them. Or, if you can spend a little bit, you can always do the GSSRs over here. But I don't know. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Again, doesn't really help that 8th anniversary is just like the Mr. Krabs meme of like, hello, I like money, right? That everything is just like, spend money on the game. Here's the summer servants. Here's, the anniversary guy. Here's 2 GSSRs now, right? But I think it's at least a cool implementation. I'll be like excited to see if it returns for stuff like New Year's, because I think that'd be kind of nice to get extra cracks at these units. But again, I want to kind of gauge the community's response to something like this. But the idea that it has this like anti-shaft thing built into it because you pick all the servants, so realistically, like, even if you're me and you got Ibuki, who is like, that's an NP2, that's not a new, like, fun new servant to use for me, that's just like more for gameplay. But even if you get that, it's like, well, I at least feel good because it's a servant I'm going to use, right? And I put it in there, it's like all my choice. So I don't know, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that one in the comments down below. But with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace late, guys.